And welcome back. Joining us for our final conversation. It's all about a Maya wedding reenactment, something that's been held annually at Santa Rita for the past few years. Joining us in studio to tell us all about it is the Corozal chairman of BTIA in the middle, Mr. Efren Perez. Good morning. To his left, we have Vice Chair Lisbeth Cabral. And to the right, we have Ms. Astrid Kahl, the tourism lecturer at CEMJC. Yes. Good morning. So I want to start off by discussing how the idea of this wedding came to be and how long you've been doing this.
Yeah. Well, the Maya reenactment was really pioneered by Ms. Rosita May and Ms. Dalia Castillo, who were at the time the chairs of BTIA in Corozal. And what they wanted was to create Santa Rita as a wedding destination for people, right? Yeah. Really taking into consideration our rich cultural history, the Mestizos and the Maya, and really tying those together and trying to make people understand, and our younger generation also understand where our culture comes from, right? And so that is really the essence of it, in trying to make Corozal as a whole, more of a tourist destination, highlighting our assets. We have the bay, we have our Mayan history, and trying to make Santa Rita as a wedding garden that we wanted to do. No? And so that is where the idea initially came about. And through the successions of BTIA in the boards, we decided to take on the role and continue to promote that particular event. It has been really successful. The last one that we had about 250 people attending the show. Yeah. It's a show that recounts the entire history, from the point of the Mayans to the arrival of the Spaniards to the coast, to Gonzalo Guerrero getting involved with the Spaniards, falling in love with the daughter of the then ruler Nachan Khan, the birth of their children, which was the significance of the Mestizo culture. And so the entire event is based on that. We have the Mayan site is illuminated, and then we have the dancing happening on the site. And all that.
Let's talk about the organization, because it sounds like a very big event. Yeah, let's talk about the time that it takes to put this all together, and the resources and the people.
Well, it's time consuming, one, because BTA is an NGO, and so we have to seek out sponsorships for events like these. And so we need time to prepare. I mean, it takes months of preparation, of brainstorming, and now leading up 1 week into the event, there are many things happening all over the place. And the thing with it this year is that we have incorporated students into it, right? Okay. And so Liz works with the CEMJC, and she can talk about the students that we've enrolled and how that has.
Well, yes, we're both lecturers at CEMJC, and CEMJC is the head or the vice chair of the board. So we've collaborated with BTIA. We've been working with BTIA for quite a while, and as members. And so what we're doing this year is, as Efren said, we want to now put some hands-on experience to the students and have them very well involved, right? So we're looking at, in the educational aspect, we're looking at 3 elements. We're looking at giving them that hands-on. We are a vocational technical junior college, the only one in the north that's vocational technical. And so it's we combine theory and practical at our junior college. And so we want to give them that hands-on experience. So they're actually going to be singing the national anthem in Maya. Ms. Ashid is leading that, as well as food and beverage service, because we will be offering a Mayan appetizer with the ticket. And so giving them that experience to be able to serve the community. More than anything, cultural appreciation. Young people nowadays, it's so hard to get them to appreciate culture, and we try to instill that love and appreciation for their culture. And so that's the second element. And the third, as I said, community involvement and giving back to the community. Making them understand it's not only about money, it's about, service. And so that's where we are with education. We run the tourism program at Centro. And so we have roughly about a little over 100 students studying tourism management. The main ones involved in the service part are the second years, which we're talking about 46 students. And so some of the first years are also involved in dancing, because we've partnered up with the Ballet Folklorico de Chetumal Quintana Roo, and so they've been in training. They're going to be dancing together with the Mexicans, and it's an ongoing process for training, so that we can invest in that training and we could do it annually. So that's where we are. And a little bit to add to the education as well is that we are not the only junior college involved. We've also collaborated with the Corozal Junior College. They're located in town, not too far from Santa Rita, and some of their students will also be working together. So really what we're trying to do is, like, in the name of tourism, in the name of Corozal, we're trying to collaborate both junior colleges as well as both high schools. I know some of you may know that we have two marching bands, two of the main marching bands in Corozal, which is the Corozal Community Marching Band and the Escuela Secundaria Técnica Ambassadors Marching Band. And so again, in the name of tourism, education, and Corozal, we are collaborating. So that day, it's not a competition, it's about joining forces.
Wow. Let's continue in the conversation, Astrid,
Yeah.
and your role in making this a reality as well.
Yeah. Actually, I am, as Elizabeth has mentioned, I'm also part of the tourism program at CEMJC. I am currently helping the students learn the national anthem in the Yucatec Maya.
Yeah.
I myself know it. So it feels very proud to me for them to, by the end of these weeks that we have been training them, that they know it without using the lyrics. At first, it was very challenging. And I said to myself, will this be possible?
Yeah.
When I told them we're going to sing in Maya, and they were like, Miss, we could barely speak proper English, and then we have to speak in a Maya. I told him, you will learn it and you'll be proud of yourself. So I was feeling kind of like discouraged first, because they were like, we won't learn this.
Yeah.
But then I said, we're going to begin one at a time. So one line, until now we have all of them singing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I video them and I show it to them, and they're like, wow, we did this. And it's amazing. That's a feeling as a teacher that we have, to see the students learn and actually do the singing. In fact, the students that are playing the anthem are also students from CEMJC, and they'll be playing the saxophone and the trombone, right? So we have all of our students singing the national anthem in the Yucatec Maya.
My curiosity, does it carry the same melody? Does it carry the same form?
Same melody.
Yeah.
Just the pronunciation
It's a
that's
little
different.
yeah.
So they're going to be singing the first stanza and the chorus in Maya, and the second stanza will be in English.
Okay.
So that's the contribution that the school is making. In addition to that, the students will also be partaking as servers, bartenders, and we are collaborating with another cultural person from Yo Creek that will be renting for us some accessories for them to wear that will represent the Mayan and Mestizo culture. We are collaborating also with the Instituto de las Artes y Cultura from Chetumal. They have a big project that's led by a professor. He is the Licenciado Rafael Romero Pot. He's actually directing the Ballet Folklorico. And we have been working with him throughout the years. We got that contact through the Mexican embassy here in Belize.
Yeah.
So we have a direct connection now with them.
Wow.
And they came to train us last November. And this past Saturday, we went to Chetumal with our students. And it's not only the students from CEMJC, we also have students from CJC. So it's both institutions collaborating to put Corozal out there as a tourism destination. And through this, the students learn that the purpose or the reason why this is happening and why today we speak English is because of what happened around 500 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Which was the resilience of the Maya against the Spaniards. They were able to fight for the land, and then we have the other history of the British conquering. So in a way, they avoided the settlement of the Spaniards because the Spaniards never settled in Belize, and that's why we are the only English-speaking country in Central
Yeah.
America.
Vale.
Well
And there's a
said.
huge history to it
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
right? That we are proud of.
I love that because it shows a different part of our Belizean history. We
Yes.
know about the parts that happen here in the Belize
Right.
district and in Cayo, because that's the Belize River Valley and Lagwood and so forth. But that is a crucial part
That's
of
right.
why,
Yeah.
right? And so I really admire the fact that this is a very hands-on way of learning history for
Yeah.
our students, but also for the Belizean community,
Yeah.
because we can come and attend and watch the reenactment as
Certainly,
well, right?
certainly, yeah. Because we do have tickets available, like I said. It is more of a family event when you think about it. Why? Because you allow families to be able to come in on that day and really look at this entire showcase that we put together, lighting the entire Mayan site, having the dancers in their costumes and regalia on stage, depicting the entire history and all of that. And I think it's a learning curve for students to also understand, and have that more of a cultural appreciation, like we said. That's really our aim.
Yeah.
And at the same time, create that buzz for Corozal, that there are things in Corozal that we can do, tourism-wise also.
I appreciate that because we talk about tourism a lot, and it's it's the fact that we have all of these different
Yeah.
things happening throughout the country.
Yeah.
And so, why did we select this time of the year to do this reenactment?
Well, because it's a wedding and because Valentine just went, we tried to tie both together. Month of love. Yeah. Initially, we had set it for October, but we ran risks of rain, and because it's an outdoor event, we
Yeah.
decided to do it more in time frame that we have
Better
less
Stable.
less
Yeah.
potential of
Less
rain.
likely of rain, yeah.
And so it has worked out well for us in terms of the planning, simply because it needs time to organize.
Yeah.
Just the trainings with the students take a lot of time for us. And
What has been the buy-in from other stakeholders who find value in this kind of an initiative?
well, we've had the support of our local BTIA chapter, and we work very closely with our national office here in Belize City.
Yeah.
And through them, we also have collaborations with the Belize Tourism Board, which has been an essential part of BTIA and the work that BTIA does. But more so, I think that we got buy-in immediately from Niche when we had sent our request over to them, because they realized that Corozal has always been a very sleepy town to be considered, right? Tourism-wise, we do have numbers, but they're very, very low. And so our intent is really to try to see how we can change that gradually. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think that once we can create activities and create little elements here and there that would be able to lead a path towards tourism growth, I think we want to do that. There's a lot of infrastructure happening also in town. There's a new bypass that passes outside of Corozal, which can be a bit of a challenge for us right now because people won't come into town no more, right? They go through that bypass. And so we have to be more proactive, look at it as an opportunity for us to create these types of events that will lead people into town itself. And so we do work closely also with the Corozal Town Council. In terms of planning our events, we had one that went just now in October, which was the Hanal Pishan, which is another cultural event. And so all of these things were really predominant in Corozal years ago, and slowly it has been dying off with generations. They get into tablets and they no longer focus on.
So it's sort of like a cultural retrieval or revival.
Right, that's certainly what we want to do. Corozal is rich in its culture. We also have a lot of biodiversity in Sartineja and all of those other areas.
True.
And so trying to tie all of these things together is going to be a bit of a challenge for us. But we're sticking on it, hoping that gradual steps that we make will be able to make that change within the Corozal industry.
Wonderful. I have a little bias, I have a sense of love for Corozal in a lot of ways. When you understand all of the history of Chactamal and the gateway, it kind of makes you feel a certain way that it's not as highlighted as it should be.
Yeah.
But in terms of this particular ceremony, this event, how can we purchase tickets, when and where? Well, you just said Santa Rita, but what time?
Yeah.
Price point? Give me all the details.
Okay, so the event itself is on the 24th, which is Saturday. It starts at 7, but we have a small parade that starts from Central Park to Santa Rita with the marching bands. And also we'll have presentations in between in that parade from the Guadalupe Roman Catholic School in Corozal. And so that will lead, or that will make the start of the parade. At 7, we kick off the event in Santa Rita. And the event should last roughly about 3 hours. Probably like about till 10 at night, 9:30, 10. Wow. Just the reenactment part of it lasts roughly about an hour 45.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is a treat for those spectators that are going, because it's a lot of performances. In fact, we also have the marching bands that will be doing performances there.
Yeah.
We have the Poktapak team from Yo Creek,
From Belize High School of Agriculture.
Yeah, they have their team.
Yeah, and so they will also be participating. So there's a lot happening. We also have Mayan hors d'oeuvres that will be served during the event to those attendees present.
Mayan hors d'oeuvres, wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's a little bit of
And that's included in the purchase of the ticket.
Right.
Right? And also, I just want to make mention that there are some key people behind the scenes working very hard supporting us. And the fact that they are Corozaleños has them on board. They're not BTI members, or they're not on our
They're just
board,
community members.
but they're community members. And so I'd like to, thank and big up people like Dione Marin Photography. He's Corozaleño, and so he's working a lot with us. Also, Carlo Romero from Prestige Productions, and on videography, Andre Herrera from Father and Son Productions. And so these people have come
Together.
together with us to help us push this.
Yeah.
How much I pay for this ticket?
The ticket is right. The ticket is $25 for the adults.
That's not bad.
Kids is $10, but kids is from 12 to 5. 5 and
Yeah.
under, it's free. Yeah. So and those tickets are available in town. We have at One Stop Solutions. We have at Mirador Hotel, at Jamundo Restaurant. We also have CJC,
Gongora
CMJC, Gongora Pastry also. So there's tickets available all around. For those that are out district and would want to go, they can message us directly on our Facebook page, and then we'll be able to coordinate with them their ticket purchases.
Wonderful.
$25 is well within reach, man. For
Yeah.
such a rich cultural
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
Worth
it's
it.
worth it.
Definitely worth
And
it.
the reason we charge is because it's not really a profit making. It is really because of the enormity of the event that has grown so much from when it started, and so we do have here and there expenses that we
It's
need
pretty
to-
good to put it in February too, because right now we're in high season, and we would hope that persons come
Right.
from outside
Right,
to
right,
purchase.
yeah.
All right. I have to say I applaud the effort. I really hope that I don't have anything to do on Saturday.
More than welcome to
Yes, for sure. But best of luck, and we really, really hope that it goes well. It sounds like it takes a lot of effort to pull
It
this
does,
off, and
it
so
does.
we commend
Yeah.
you
A lot
all
of
for
planning
doing
and
it.
logistics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Sleepless nights. But
So if you want to go and see the Maya wedding reenactment, you can contact the BTIA on their Facebook page to see how you can purchase your tickets. It is February 24th at 6 p.m. I said 6
Right.
because
the parade starts
the
at
parade
6.
starts at 6. Sounds like it's going to be a wonderful experience. We are going to take our final break, and when we come back, it is straight to wrap. Don't go away.